Welcome to the Gridwise Architecture Council's video presentation library. The following presentation, Benchmarking and Building Performance Standard Implementation, was presented to the Council on March 20th, 2024 by Sydney Applegate, the ORISE Science, Technology, and Policy Fellow at the U.S. Department of Energy's Office of Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy. Please welcome Sydney Applegate.
Sydney Applegate, welcome to the Gridwise Architecture Council meeting for March 20th, 2024. Welcome. Glad to have you here from ORISE. So if you want to give a little bit about yourself and tell us what ORISE is, and we'll get your deck online.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. Sydney Applegate, I use they, them pronouns. I work at the U.S. Department of Energy in the Building Technologies Office, Commercial Buildings team, if you are, in that space. I'm an ORISE Science Technology Policy Fellow, but I work for DOE. Okay, and I work on I oversee the Efficient and Healthy Schools program, as well as the Data and Tools portfolio, which is a subset of the Building Technology Office software suite, specifically focusing on the commercial building sector. So this slide deck has been adapted from a jurisdiction or city or state government facing PowerPoint presentation. So it might appear that I'm speaking to that audience, but I wanted to specify that while a lot of the software that I'll be talking about has been mainly supporting jurisdictions that are implementing benchmarking or building performance standards, this ecosystem that I'll be going through does also work really nicely for large organizations that are working on energy efficiency or decarbonization planning and tracking. Okay, so with that, I guess the main theme of this presentation, I just want to start off with the high-level point, is the importance of data management as it relates to data-heavy policies like building performance standards or decarbonization programming. So the goal of this software that I'll be presenting on is really moving folks away from spreadsheets and local computer files and towards easy-to-use data tools that can handle the complexity of building performance standards and decarbonization programs. Next slide. Okay, so here's just like the super high level version of each of the tools, all of which are free, some of which are also open source. Starting off with our partner organization, the Environmental Protection Agency's Energy Star Portfolio Manager. If folks don't know about it, I just want to level set. Portfolio Manager enables the reporting of building energy and water use, square footage, and operational details in a consistent format. Companies and utilities can directly push energy consumption and other data into Portfolio Manager accounts to make benchmarking and other tracking easier. The tool offers a number of other capabilities. Third-party data verification, custom local emissions factors, location and market-based emissions calculations, goal setting and tracking, and other things. EPA is also working on enhancements in the coming year or two. So if you're interested in reaching out to them about that, I know they're in the stakeholder engagement process at the moment. I will be getting into more detail on SEED and audit templates specifically. So just to give you enough until then, SEED stands for the Standard Energy Efficiency Database Platform. SEED is a central database for jurisdiction or large organization building energy policy and program data. It merges information from Portfolio Manager, audit template, and other data sets into one place connected through APIs behind one interface. Audit template. So in the same way that Portfolio Manager provides standardized reporting for energy use, audit template is a parallel pathway for audit and asset-based data collection. Really focusing on data standardization. UBID, the final one here. UBID stands for Unique Building Identifier. So UBID, the tool, generates unique building identifiers or UBIDs for each building from geospatial data that can be applied across data sources, including covered buildings list, tax assessor records, or other program datasets. Assigning UBIDs to buildings or campuses allows object-specific data to be cross-referenced and clearly matched across data sets and tracking systems. Also resolves data inconsistencies rooted in using addresses as a building identifier. UBID can support building performance standards or organizational decarbonization programs by standardizing building identification across data sets. Okay, great. If you can go to the next slide. All right, so this is the core, or like the heart of the work that we've been doing here at the Department of Energy, focusing on the broader ecosystem and how all these tools connect. The tools have been around for a while, and now our focus is really on the interconnection and data sharing across these platforms to make that process as easy as possible for jurisdictions and organizations. So now that we have information about each of these tools, focusing on how they connect and what the use cases are. So if you are a building owner or an auditor or an energy manager, you're entering this ecosystem from the middle tier around data collection tools. So either entering energy use in Portfolio Manager or your audit or asset-based information into Audit Template. And getting both of those submission pathways to your program or policy requirements. Building Sync XML sits underneath this as a schema that shares the audit information to SEED in that submission pathway. And then third-party platforms also live in this space, making sure that the federal free tools that are awesome and great also don't conflict with existing workflows and software that organizations are already using for data collection. UBID sits underneath this here, working on the standardization component in order to be able to manage and collect all of this data coming in from various sources. So that really underpins this top tier here. For the user category of program, ordinance, or building performance standard administrator. So this category of folks are focusing on the data management aspect of programs or policies. So SEED being the tool that does that. Beam, if you've heard of that, is built on top of SEED. So very similar, private sector versus the free open source federal tool. SEED maps, reviews, and aggregates data from multiple sources, automatically QA and QCs data, as well as analyzes it, and then also communicates out with customer relationship manager platforms, which is especially important if you're a jurisdiction that's working with many different building owners, but I think is also applicable to folks who are potentially managing a lot of different contacts for different buildings across the country. Anything else? Yeah, okay, so the general goal of this ecosystem here is really focusing on saving organizations cost and staff time, removing barriers to implementing these programs, whether that be decarb or building performance standard, and reducing administrative burdens. Also, all of the software here focuses on ensuring transparency in the event of personnel changes or the need to share program or policy outcomes with public stakeholders. Okay, next slide. So this is the suite adoption as of September 2023. We're about to update this slide and also a website related to the slide here soon. So our numbers have increased in September, but you can see which jurisdictions across the country are using the three software, DOE software. EPA is not on this map at the moment, or Energy Star Portfolio Manager is not at the map on the moment, but yeah, just wide, broad adoption, which I think is also just important to know for folks, even if you're not at a jurisdiction and you're seeing your peers adopt these things, but also if you are a building owner or a manager across the country and you're seeing the use of these tools increase, and so awareness around these are still going to be important as these become the standard reporting platform for these policies. Okay, next slide. Okay, audit template and then SEED. Audit template is a web-based interface for collecting and reporting building asset data, including information on building systems, energy use data, which can be important reported from Portfolio Manager, and information on energy efficiency measures and potential savings. You can see some screenshots here. The generated asset data report may be submitted to jurisdictions or organizations or agencies to demonstrate audit compliance or submission to any asset-based alternative compliance pathway. Next slide. Another screenshot here in the tool of some specific fields that can be collected. Audit template is designed to be customizable for program administrators. As you can see, for custom input or required input here. And yeah, so customizable to include characteristics and details that the organization deems valuable to their programs. So at its core, audit template enables standardized and persistent data building data collection, providing a history of audits at a building integrated with any future audits or retrofit activity, really trying to move folks away from the three-ring binder that sits on the shelf, and continuing to use this information as we're moving forward in our decarbonization planning. Okay, next. Okay, SEED. SEED, again, central database for tracking building energy or policy program data. SEED leverages automatic API connections with Portfolio Manager, Audit Template, and UBID to send and receive data seamlessly. SEED automates spreadsheet-based workflows to simplify data management and can improve data quality and reduce staff time managing programs by over 25%. SEED tracks benchmarking or building performance standard compliance and progress, or program compliance and progress, and can send automated emails to building owners to communicate data quality issues or compliance status, which is a big time-saving component for a lot of the folks that I work with. If a jurisdiction or organization uses customer relationship managers to manage building owner contact information, SEED can connect and share data with that platform, which reiterating again, because that is another massive time-saving component. With SEED, a jurisdiction or organization maintains ownership of their data, keeps their data secure and private, and converts building data sets into actionable insights. Okay, next. The next couple slides here, just going to kind of click through and showing you what SEED looks like. So one of the capabilities here is geospatial data mapping in order to visualize building data portfolios, as well as bring in information from related to the White House CGES tool related to disadvantaged community mapping, which is the shaded areas you see here. Next. Here you can see a program tracking option here in order for organizations or jurisdictions to analyze trends in their building stock. Next slide. And then specifically, if you have a program, so say it's a 50% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions for your building stock, or making sure that your buildings are complying with the set building performance standard, those specific goals and programs can be set in SEED, and then compliance or progress towards those goals will be tracked in a dashboard like this, or this type of dashboard. Next slide. And then distance from goals also can be visualized in SEED. So the longest tails there will be the buildings farthest from either the set program goal or the building performance standard compliance target for that cycle. Next. This is just a video for folks to look at after. I don't think we need to play it right now, but it is a nice visual, like 2-minute thing that you can share with folks you think might be relevant. Nice and easy explanation of the platform. Okay.
In order to reduce the building sector's energy use and carbon emissions.
Thank you. Okay, it's very cute though. All right, so how to get involved after this? I'm obviously happy to answer questions, but the action item specifically here, can request a one-on-one demonstration for any of these software from my team, or a free test account for SEED in that circumstance. The first link here is specific to the building performance standard use case for this ecosystem, so a bit more information on that, and another good resource to send to folks. Energy Star Portfolio Manager contact if you have questions about that software. And then the last one here is the broader Building Data Tools website, which includes information about this ecosystem, but is framed more as a broader set of software, as well as includes other software that I haven't mentioned today, but are within the portfolio of commercial building energy tools. Thank you.
Thank you for that great presentation, Sydney. If you're interested in more information about the Gridwise Architecture Council, please visit our website at gridwiseac.org, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at the link provided. Thank you.